Hello and welcome back to the Flurry Sports Podcast. Welcome back, Jake. Jake is back from camp. Hopefully that went fine and dandy. How many kids lost? What's the head count this year? 2.5. That's the over/under.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was like, you think one of them got cut in half? I forgot how odds work. Under. Fine. They all came back.
That's a bummer.
At one point, we did have a lifeguard say, "Where's this kid?" Which is like never what you want to hear.
Bit.
Yeah, great bit
always.
That kid, sandcastles. It's always sandcastles.
That's true. That is true. Usually we jump right into the podcast theme song that we've had AI create for us. And I forgot to do it this week up until like right before we started recording. So I did it, typed it in, started listening to it. And I felt it needed to be introduced because it starts out, it's a wacky song genre. I will say right away, I typed in for it to be rap over 8-bit music. Okay. Already a little wacky, but it was great. And I think they did a new update to it. So I'm like, oh my God, it's like a real song. It's a different voice. It's not the same guy. I'm like, this sounds great. And then it goes off the fucking rails and it's too long. It's a 4-minute song. So already we're talking about a too long song. There's some glitch in the system when it was created. This is not intended, but I felt we need to listen to the whole thing. I think that's what we got to do. Jake, let me know if you want it paused at any point. Literally, but I think they're updating the AI research part of it. I will say that because I didn't type in really any information about the Flurry Sports Podcast, but it talks about like fantasy sports. It talks about all kinds of stuff. I'm like, okay, so they're alerting me a little bit, but they're also learning though that I love fucking chaos, and that's what we're about to get. So let's listen to this first part. We'll probably pause it when it gets off the rails. You'll know when that is. Okay.
Here we go. Also, do you know we're streaming?
What was that?
Do you know we're streaming? I'm just checking quick.
We're not streaming.
Oh, it says we're live. My bad.
No, we're good to go. Okay, here we go.
Bring it in.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, by the way, or no?
Okay,
perfect. Yep. Here we go.
Yo, it's Zach, Jay, Rebel Mike, it's a take. The sports comedy, do it, we ain't fake. Get the blue lead, man, what a heartbreak. 3 of all, turn the dough, bro, for heaven's sake. Flurry Sports is the laugh track, man. From touchdown to slap shots, catch us if you can. Breaking down the plays with a joke in hand. Zach and Jake in your ears, comedy grandstand. The beats, yeah, old school feats. Throwing shade at teams with those epic tweets. From the studio to your earbuds, it's a treat. Flurry Sports Podcast where humor and sports meet. NBA drama, you know we got the scoop. From abroad to the rookies, we break the news loop. Talking trades, goose, the endless hoop. Stirring up the pot, just us in the groups. Flurry Sports is the last track, man. Touchdown to slap shots, catch us if you can. Breaking down the plays with a joke in hand. Zach and Jake in your ears, comedy grandstand. Fantasy drafts, daily stats on blast. Last place punishments, yo, that's a gas. Coaches, pressures, awkward televised mess. Play it back, make it funny, it's our podcast success.
Very Smash Bros. Okay.
I know, very much. Okay. It's gonna start to get a little weird.
Flurry Sports is the last track, man. For touchdowns and slap shots, catch us if you can. Breaking down the plays with a joke in hand. Zach and Jake in your ears, comedy grandstand. Fantasy drafts, daily stats on blast. Last place punishments, yo, that's a gas. Coaches, pressers, offer televised mess. Play it back, make it funny, it's our podcast success. Okay, Phalums Aurelia do your buck the scoop Fluck LaFour. Fluck, go! Stand. W wait for plan.
I'm on. No! Stop it.
Flurry Sports is the last track, man.
Okay, so
why are they behind me? Why are they behind me?
What the fuck was that? I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was.
There's a guy trapped in here. We've been talking about that this whole time. This is a real dude.
I listened. Yeah, it seems that way. I listened to it a few times. I can't. I think it's Jim. They're talking in tongues, I think, which is scarier. But then it sounds like they're saying fuck. It sounds like they said fuck LaFleur. So I don't know if they're listening to Lombardi Sweet. They're like, okay, this is Zach. He hates Matt LaFleur. Let's say, I don't know if that's what they said or not. But so that's a random thing.
Sounds like an F-bomb for sure. Yeah.
For sure. And now we're back to the chorus again, a little bit faster, a little bit worse. Shout out 4-H camp. But they repeated verse 3, and I'm letting you know for the rest of the song, they're repeating verse 3 in different ways.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And over it, some of it's spoken word. Some of it is, there's just so much stuff going on. I will skip ahead a little bit because more happens. I'll skip ahead a minute. This whole thing will be uploaded to the Flurry Sports YouTube channel, by the way. Kind of catchy, though. Like, it started off pretty good, right?
I mean, very good. And by the way, it went from like, oh, it's like Mega Man. Where it got spooky, I'm like, oh, fuck, it's Kingdom Hearts.
It is. It's Kingdom Hearts. Is that Ansem or is that Xehanort? They're this one and the same. Everything you played was a lie. Okay, here we go. We're skipping ahead a full minute-ish. Okay, let's just see what happens from here on out. Rest of the song, 1 minute left.
Fantasy drafts, daily stats on blast. Last place punishments, yo, that's a gas. Coaches pressers awkward televised mess. Play it back, make it funny, it's our podcast success. Flurry Sports, it's a laugh track, man. For Cliff, go real out to the Lou. We'll do your buck the scoop. Fuck LaFleur. Fuck. I'll do your buck. Fuck it. Tell me, lady.
It's Kanye now.
Tell me what to do. What a whoa, 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 whoa.
Genuinely free.
I know.
Flurry Sports is a laugh track, man. From touchdown to slap shots, get this if you can. A second.
Okay, then it cuts off there. They made a 4-minute song and then it cuts off mid-verse.
I think you found out it was taking over. Mr. Anderson's getting too smart.
Like, what the fuck was that? Kanye showed up. They started
3
doing
F-bombs.
moves.
3 F-bombs at some point, just so many.
I don't know what happened. I invite you all to listen to this again on the Flurry Sports YouTube channel at like 3 a.m. maybe. Have some drinks, get high, and listen to that and have an existential crisis. Like, it's insane.
It is, you know what it is, and maybe that's what it was trying to. The whole time I was like, who's it like ripping off? By the end, it's like I was at the beginning. I was like, "Oh, it kind of sounds like Bo Burnham," and by the end, I was like, "Oh my god, it sounds like Bo Burnham." Like,
that's true.
I'm afraid
it sounds like 100 Gex in a little bit in there at some points.
Yeah, little class animals. Yeah,
little class. That's true. That is. There's so much going on.
Pre-heat waves like class animals.
yes. Pre popular glass animals.
Gooey. Yeah.
So my question to you is: this the worst song it's ever created, or the best one? Because
I can't re-listen to it, so it's the worst. I won't ever listen to that again.
Yes, you will. I guarantee you will, and we'll check back next week.
4 a.m.
That's the issue. Yeah, that's the issue. Like, you're gonna crack the code. You think it's English, and maybe it is. I need to play it backwards.
It definitely says forklift.
It does, doesn't it? It's maybe. I think it says something backwards, and if it's like AI is taken over, birds aren't real, the government issued a plan for the Florida Panthers to throw the series after going up 3-0. Like, it could be anything. I don't know.
I will say, this is where we need to give credit to you. You do a lot of behind the scenes for the show. You fucking listening to that on your own.
I needed like a listen through, like, is this going to be good or not? I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. But see, I start listening to it before it's fully created. So it didn't say how long it was. It was still loading.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's past a minute. Usually it's around minute 20. Okay. And then it gets to 2 minutes. Then AI takes over.
Yeah.
And I'm like frozen. And then it's like, oh, we're happy again. And it's 3 minutes and it's 3:30. And then the AI comes back. And so it was crazy.
It
I don't
might
know.
be like looping on itself, which is
I've had it where it's bugged before, not like this, but like it's bugged in weird ways. And I think they just did a new update, which is why the
Yeah.
first part seemingly was better. But
Correct.
yeah, something went wrong, I think.
By the way, I don't think we can rule out that the one guy's voice is gone yet, because I do think there's
Yeah.
a possibility that we get a different voice when we put in any genre that's related with black people. Like a little
That's
bit
true.
rappy.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. So
So
that's what.
there's two people then.
That's right. One of them trapped in a box.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what that was. Yeah, somebody play it backwards for us. I might have to before next week. And let's do this little announcement out of the way before we forget, because it seems like something I would completely forget. Next week is our season finale.
Yeah, if you're still with us, there you go.
Yeah. That's actually, if you play the message backwards, they just said next week is the end, and it might be forever. But next week's the season finale. We're doing it a little differently this year. So instead of going on a season finale and then for an undisclosed time, we're off. That's how it usually is. And then when the vibes are right, we usually come back. That's the issue.
Mhm.
But this time, next week, last show, and then we're going to have a preseason. Okay. And that means, or the off season, if you will, whatever you want. Preseason, off season is all the same thing because it's not the season. We're going to go every other week. So we'll be off the week after that, and then on, off the rest of the summer up until football season. And for the reason for that is because there's going to be Olympic stuff. And Olympic stuff's always fun to talk about. I've been watching a lot of Olympic trials. It's been fun. As hell, the world record holder for track. He flashed his Blue Eyes White Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh card before winning a race. Love it. Yeah. Lucas Oil Stadium sold like 22K tickets to go watch the swimming trials, which is insane.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
The Twin Cities gymnastic trials sold out too.
It's insane. Katie Ledecky's still very good. And by the way, if you're not watching the Olympic trials, you need to. Because if you like to watch the best against the best, that's what's happening right now. After this, it's the whole thing. Bill Belichick's practices were so hard that we look forward to Sunday. We're competing against the best because we're competing against ourselves right now. That's America is the best. I heard from, undisclosed experts that Canada may not win a fucking medal all Olympics. And the same thing with England and the same thing with all these other teams, because we're going to sweep. We're going to sweep. It is what it is. So if you want to see the best against the best, go watch Katie Ledecky swim with a glass of chocolate milk on her head against Ryan Lochte and everybody else right now. Ryan Lochte's not in it, but I can remember Caleb Dressel. That's the guy's name. He's a stud too.
There you go. So true. A couple things. One, took me a second to figure out you said Canada. I thought you were calling Katie Ledecky K-Dot, and I was like, if you just gave her Kendrick's nickname, that's so fucking funny. K-Dot, dude, get her. One, absolutely. Two, you know who's got a real fire lit under him? I think people missed this story. Dude, our women's basketball team is going to beat people by 50.
They better, because if they beat them by 49, they would have beat them by 50 if they had Caitlin.
I think it's going to be the only thing that can motivate them is people being like, we wish you brought Caitlin with you.
Yeah, for sure. She should be in the stands. She should
be on the men's team. That's what I think the next step should have been.
She should be on the 3-on-3 team. There's a college girl on the 3-on-3 team. Yeah. Why isn't she there? She should be on our 3-on-3 team for men's is Jimmer Fredette's on our team. Which
that's crazy. Compete for China. You have to.
That's right. And then nobody else. He's the star. Yeah. If you remember, last Olympics was the first time they had 3-on-3. We had Robbie Hummel representing our country. And that's embarrassing. We can't do that again. And now we got Jimmer.
It is wild that it's like, why don't we want to win that?
I don't know. We have a league, a 3-on-3 league. Play those people.
That's so true. We're not even sending people from that league.
No. Robbie Hummel was getting schooled by people at the YMCA, and he's like, yeah, I'll represent our country.
We're not
That's it.
even sending. Listen, I've got our champion team just of people who went to China to play. You
Yeah.
could have given me Jimmer, JR, and Stephon Marbury. Dwight's
Dwight?
the sub.
Yeah, fine.
By the way,
We can
that
just-
team, killer.
That, or I would love to just send a team of goons. Let's have Lance Stevenson. We'll have probably Draymond. We probably need Draymond at every team. And then who's the next one? Who's the other goon that we need?
Well, I don't know, because all the names that came to mind, not from America. I was like Vlade Divac, Zaza Pachulia.
We'll still have Jimmer. Jimmer's fine.
Dellavedova?
Dellavedova. I don't know where he is. He could absolutely. He's from Australia, I think, actually.
Okay.
But he'd play for us though.
100%.
We could convince him.
Yeah,
LeBron can ask.
Yeah. Nigel Hayes.
Nigel Hayes has been playing for a lot of different. No, that's right. Let's have Nigel, Sam Decker, and Kaminsky.
Yeah. And who's their
You're welcome.
Bronson Koenig.
That's right. That is right.
Or
We'll
that guy
win.
who just
That's a better
fucking took
team.
charges. What's his name? Brad Davidson.
Brad Davidson would be so happy to represent America. And I can't wait to listen to every broadcast in different languages for them to say, did you know he used to play quarterback? Every single language. Be great.
I like the idea he becomes the most hated man in the Olympics.
Yeah, he would. For
Charges.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
fuck that guy. Taking charges in 3-on-3, complaining for a call every time.
Yeah. He's just like, that can't be allowed. Yeah. I've never seen a ref calling a legit flop. Like, nope, Brad, you're done. Game of attack. Like, yeah, you're out. Before that rule was a thing, they were like, no, I'm done with you. Stop it.
Mm-hmm. So annoyed. He's older than half the refs there, too. Get a job.
Get a job. Put that on a t-shirt. Send that to the Olympics.
Yeah, true.
By the way, did you hear the Olympic Village that like no beds or something?
No, it's the same thing as last time. They have like these anti-sex beds that are made for like if there's like if someone sits on them, they collapse. Essentially, they're made of cardboard. So there's beds. You gotta be careful. You gotta be. It's like BYU. I assume they have all the same beds in their dorm.
And by the way, anyone who thinks those will work has obviously never worked at a college campus. You're just encouraging creativity.
You can't have sex unless you lay on those beds. There's no other way.
Guess what, Zach? You can't have an orgy in those beds either, which I feel like is, they're kind of missing the forest for the trees.
You're right. Like we're talking about, they're gymnasts. They're made for this. You know what I mean?
Well, also like every year, it's like we have 120 STDs broken out every day. You think that happens from one-on-one? You think they're all going to separate beds? I think you just made the beds easier to clear out.
And who's the country sending the STD-filled people, by the way? There's definitely a Trojan horse that gets sent from every country.
Not a Trojan horse. It's Russia.
It is Russia. That's correct. You're right.
Testing. Yeah.
No.
You can't test for STDs without testing for horse meds.
True. That motherfucker. She's still triple axling with a horse heart in there. Like, I hate her.
Heart. The horse did have gonorrhea, though.
Oh, there we go. That makes sense then.
Isn't she with Putin now?
With Putin?
Yeah, I think they're dating.
Good for him. So Putin's got her. Belichick's got the 24-year-old cheerleader. They're all on the come up. That's good.
It's all happening. You know, and speaking of kids, I've got a game.
Okay. So just another quick reminder: we say all of that to say next week's the season finale. But then we're back every other week. You're fine. Relax.
Olympic season, we've got some big plans. Zach and I may be drafting countries.
We may be in the Olympics. Stay tuned.
That's true. Honestly, let me fucking hammer toss.
Let them do it. We'll see what happens. How about that? Let me not joust. Fence. Joust too.
You show up to fence on a horse. You'd win, I think.
Bring it. For sure. I'd show up to every event on horse. Sounds like a great entrance.
Yeah. No one told me you show up with a gun. No one told me I had to use that thing.
No.
Draw.
No. Yeah, for sure. It sounds like a great time.
Some of those,
but you got a game.
Sorry. One last thought.
No,
you're
you're
telling
good.
me I couldn't win ski jump? If you get me going, is it just go the farthest? You couldn't do it
You have to-
twice.
I don't think you have to land it.
That's the rule. I don't know. Do I have to land? Because that may put a wrinkle in my plan. But if I remember something from physics, I think I could get a lot of speed.
That is true. Mr. Baxter, coach. That's a joke for nobody but us, but that's fine.
That's true. By the way, everyone's physics teacher's got to be like him, right? Like he's your favorite and also like scary.
Yeah, he shame you for something you didn't do, but then by the end of the conversation, you feel like you did do it.
Or something you did, but it's like that was a little much. Like I think I've told this story on the show before, but I missed a day for a competition while I was gone. My friend was like, by the way, Coach Matt got you real good in class today. And I was like, oh, it couldn't have been too bad. And he was like, he held up the notes from the assignment and he said, look at the handwriting of these two students. One of these people is how you should write. One of these people is Jake. And you should not write like this. He just held it up in front of the whole fucking class. He's like, this is not showing your work. And fuck you, man.
I mean,
I hold my
That's
pencil
true.
like a javelin.
yeah, that's right. Always ready to go.
Always ready to go. And I'm
yeah.
game, Zach. As you mentioned, I was at camp this week, and I'm just gonna say now, maybe this is the name of the show. People, this one's not for you. Maybe that's the name of it.
Yeah.
This one, folks, this is for us, and I hope you enjoy. But I
Mhm.
all day, the idea of this game came in because I and Zach has worked here as well. Volunteer at a 4-H youth camp, so we're talking 3rd to 8th graders, and kids, Zach, say the darndest things. So I had all these quotes from camp that I was like, how can I incorporate these into the show? Because some of them unhinged. Like, what
Yeah.
are we doing? Some of them a little scary. Some of them just so fucking random. So, Zach, the game today, I've got 10 statements. You're going to tell me, was this said by a camper or was this said by one of the most unhinged, enigmatic, funny, uncontrollable people who's ever walked the earth? That's right. My favorite and yours, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
That's great. I mean,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you're right. Not for everybody, but if you find this funny, you find it very funny. So you're welcome.
100%. Look, if you don't know who Scott Steiner is, take a break. Come back.
Yeah.
Look him up. Because that is wrestling at its worst but best.
The big booty daddy.
The big booty daddy, the genetic freak. Scott Steiner. All my freaks. He, by the way, so not kosher. So just not. No. He didn't survive the Me Too movement and no one cared.
No, yeah, it didn't. We're all just like, yeah, of course, we know. Yeah.
One of the quotes I didn't use today, by the way, but it's one of my all-time favorites because, like, dirty, but just so fucking random. One of the ones I didn't use today is, I try not to do the impression all show, but Thomas Dallas Page, well, you're on your back in the hospital screaming in pain. Your wife will be on her back screaming my name.
Such a jackass.
Such a jackass. So him versus 12-year-old, Zach, that's what we're talking about. So was it said by professional wrestler, crazy person? And these are all in promos. These are not real life quotes. All of these he said on television.
Into a microphone in front of a crowd on television. Yeah.
And someone said, nice job. That's the character.
Right.
So first one, Zach, and some of these I've taken out of context, and if they are Scott or camper, I can always add more context. But number one, is this a camper or is this the big booty daddy? You take you 33 and 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning. But then you take my 75% chance of winning if we was to go 1-on-1, and then add 66 2/3%. I got 141 2/3 chance of winning.
For those people who don't know, and you are unfamiliar with Scott Steiner, just type in Steiner math and watch that promo. You'll hear this. So it's Scott Steiner. Incredible. It's incredible. It's so, I don't understand how it's all correct. All the math is correct.
No, not true. but it's right
No,
in here.
I thought it was. Oh, I thought it was all
You
good.
have, I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
Yeah, like all of his additions and stuff, I think's right though, isn't it?
It's all right. He does the math
Yeah.
right. He doesn't understand that percents only go up to 100.
That's not true. You can Big Papa Pump could give more than 100. Look at
And
him.
that's what he would say, by the way. That's true.
Yeah.
I did have to cut out, to try and make it a little convincing, I did have to cut out the funniest part, which is when all three of us in the ring together, we each got a 33 1/3 chance of winning, but he knows he can't beat me. So that means I got 66 1/3 chance. That's the best part. Oh, that's where you're getting it from, because he knows he can't beat you. So
no arguments.
That's what we're dealing with, folks. So Scott Steiner, crazy person. Number 2, is this Steiner or is this Camper? You ever think about icebergs? Sometimes I can't stop thinking about them, even when it's warm.
That's a great quote. Oh
By
my
the way,
God.
this is a banger. This game, buckle up, folks. We're in.
That's incredible. I'm going to go with Camper, but it truly could be either.
It's a Camper. It's a Camper.
Wow.
This, by the way, pulled out on a walk. We were walking in silence, and then he said, "You ever think about icebergs?"
We need to get him on the show.
Yeah.
I got questions.
By the way, I've got a number of quotes. Most of the Camper quotes I have, one kid.
Great. That kid's a deep thinker.
He is. He's also got ADHD, but he's a good one. So
does Scott Steiner, I think.
So does Scott Steiner. Undiagnosed for sure. All right. Number 3. Who cares what these geeks think?
God, I've said that a million times as a joke. I feel like I had to have taken that from Scott Steiner.
That is Scott Steiner. Might be both,
good.
but it's for sure Scott Steiner. It helps if I say, "Who cares what these geeks think?"
Yeah.
He sounds
He's such a bully. He's like so rude.
so aggressive for no reason.
Yeah.
All right. I've got a dog at home named Dog, but he likes it.
Camper? I don't know.
That is a Camper. It's a
Yeah,
third
I'm sure
grader.
the dog does like it.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
unprovoked. She's like, but don't worry, he likes it. Cool. All right. Well, allowed then.
Yeah. I was gonna push back and say what does he think, but it's great.
That's right. I didn't know if I'd get you because Steiner's got a log of dog-based jokes.
He does, including just barking into the microphone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's so true. We're 4 for 4, Zach. It should be said. We're playing a game here. This is for money. I'm $10 ahead. Zach needs to get, let's say 8. 8 right, you get 10. We'd be tied going in the finale.
That'd be a big deal. That'd be a huge deal.
So far, you're 4 for 4. So, and I'll make it spicy right now. You get all 10 right, I'll give you 15. I'll give you a $5 lead heading into the finale. We hate
That's
ties.
huge.
So Scott Steiner.
Yeah, who? If you like ties, you're probably European. Fuck you.
That's right. All right, ready? This one paraphrased a little. Here we go. They know that they don't have to wait for the Earth to rotate on a 47-degree axis so the stars can touch the sky and create an equinox so they can see the Big Dipper.
The first part is they know they don't, or what was it?
Yeah, they know that they don't have to wait for the Earth to rotate on a 47-degree axis so the stars can touch the sky and create an equinox so they can see the Big Dipper.
I mean, that's Big Papa Pump. It has to be.
Here's the quoted context. They know they don't need to wait. They know. They know that they don't have to wait for the Earth to rotate on a 47-degree axis. So the stars can touch the sky and create an equinox so they can see the Big Dipper. No. All they got to do is call the Big Papa because I'm the man with the Big Dipper. And satisfaction's coming when I go behind and do the bump and grind. And it's only a matter of time before they all call me the Big Bad Booty Daddy.
He's breaking all those Olympic beds. He doesn't care.
No, not at all. So he's rhyming. There was a period of time where he was the best thing that's ever happened to wrestling.
For sure. And you can speak to this better than me. I can't imagine he planned a ton of it.
No. Not at all. Famously, I think that's what got him in trouble
Yeah.
sometimes. Is like, I think
For
on
sure.
this one, he's got the end down.
Maybe. The math one, I don't know if he's Rain Man or if he planned it. I truly have no idea.
I think once he got to like all of that is just the setup because I'm the man with the Big Dipper.
Right,
That's
correct.
all
yes.
that is like, all right, this
Yeah.
is a dick joke that I've got to
Yeah.
squish in this paragraph. So there we go. Next, Zach. All right, ready? You're gonna lose because you're a loser. Sorry.
That's a kid.
Hey, as a kid, Big Papa Pump would
Good.
apologize.
No, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah. Did the kid win or did they not back it up?
We, believe it or not, had him stop playing for a second.
Come
It's a
on.
game of Nukem. Out
The
of
kid's
nowhere.
feeling himself. Let him go.
The pause was killer. He literally, in a game of like volleyball, was like, "You're gonna lose because you're a loser." It's like, okay, timeout. Come over here.
Sound logic. Let him cook. He was onto something.
Yeah, could be, I guess. All right. So you are 6 for 6. Next. What happened to him? What always happens to people who mess with me?
That is so ominous. It really could be anybody. It might be that same kid. I'm gonna go with the kid.
It is a kid, different kid, but it's the scariest. This is what made me think of the game. This kid hit somebody, and I said, "What happened?" He said, "What happened? What always happens?" I said, "No, not allowed."
Did he have an answer or no?
No,
What
he
always
literally
happens?
told me what always happens, and I said, "What do you mean by that?" And he said, "You know." And I said, "No. You're you're talking me through this because I will not let you ominously threaten me." 10-year-old, you got to talk me through it. All right, 7 for 7. Number 8, short and sweet. You ready?
Yep.
I hate ducks.
This big pop-up. I feel like Scott Steiner would love ducks. Kid. Scott Steiner likes ducks.
You are 7 for 8. Big Papa Pop hates ducks.
Really?
And here's where the quote comes from. You can look up this clip. This is during a very serious angle. He breaks into Raw. He's doing he's like beating up people with a kendo stick. Security can't stop him. At this arena in the back, there was just like this ceramic duck that was for something else, and it fell off the table. Scott Steiner hit it with the kendo stick and said, "Big Papa Pump hates ducks." And then he broke this duck.
Okay, fair enough. That's a character flaw, I think, of Scott Steiner.
Yeah, good improv skills by him, though.
Great, yeah. Yeah.
This next one, number 9. I'm still working out because I have nothing else to do. What am I going to do? Am I going to play the guitar?
Why would a kid say that? But I think Scott Steiner has other things to do. It's a kid. It has to be a kid.
Zach, we're floundering. It's Scott. It's Scott
What?
Steiner. Let me give it away to you a little bit. The Big Papa Pump's always working out. I'm still working out because I've got nothing else to do. What else can I do if I'm a genetic freak? I got to be working out. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Play the guitar?
Okay, you brought it back around. I was confused because I'm like, he's got so many things to do. He talks about having sex with every woman.
So true. It was during that stretch where all he was doing was push-ups.
Fair enough. And it showed. 0 steroids in that body.
All right, Zach. So you are 7 for 9. If you get this, you win. If you don't, you do not get the money. We are not tied going into the season finale. Number 10. I'm the king of the water. Respect me. Having this sponge means I'm king, and you don't have a sponge, so you're not a king.
Does Scott Steiner have like a bath promo? I'm gonna go with a kid.
Zach, you pulled it off. You pulled it off.
Oh,
That's a
God.
kid. I was like, do I make it a little more vague? I'm going to leave it super specific. And that's what happened. It was a kid in a canoe playing sponge toss.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I thought, like I said, Scott Steiner could have a bath promo, and he's like ruling over it.
Thought about being mean and just leaving it at "I'm king of the water" because it's like, I mean, he probably said that at some point. I mean,
Probably.
for sure. But yeah, that, by the way, that kid said that sentence in response to, "Hey, can you put that sponge back?"
Can't do. No, can't do. I'm king.
That's right. By the way, iceberg kid.
Okay. I like this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets it.
Yeah, he was that one, and he was also, so he was iceberg kid, he was king of the water, and then he was I got a dog at home named Dog.
Nice. Creative.
So
Okay.
there we
That's
go.
great.
Yeah,
That's great.
but there you go. 8 for 10 and a little
Okay.
reminiscing with Big Papa Pop.
Wow. Everyone for sure go watch the Steiner math promo, but I invite you to watch as much Scott Steiner as possible. And know
In a
that
safe
Braun
place.
Breaker, current superstar, who's also very scary and a genetic freak, is his nephew, correct? Not son?
Correct. And is just, he's awesome right now, and he also is just doing Steiner stuff and a little more in control, which
A little bit.
a little bit, which
the
is
moment.
nice. Not physically though, because that guy, I don't know if you saw that where he moved the ring. He was running so fast.
No. Like,
And-
really?
Yeah, at a
Okay.
live show, they got a clip of it. Everyone, you can look this up. He's running the ropes because that was his thing for a while. Was they clocked him at like 35 miles an hour off the ropes, so he was doing it, and the whole ring shifts when he hits the rope.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's how run around the corner to spear somebody outside the ring. That he can
Yeah.
move. He's a former running back. He is
Yeah.
he needs to be a current running back. He needs to go back.
one of
He
my
is
favorite
huge.
quotes is like, he's like, "Well, I try not to run as fast as I can on the ropes because someone else has to stop me." He's like, "I've got no." He's like, "I can't stop. Like, I'm just going
Yeah.
full tilt. Like, someone's got to put the brakes on for me."
Yeah, that's real. That is not in character. That is
No.
a real thing.
Yeah, 100%. No, there's not a lot of character there with the Steiners. I think that's when the best
True,
part of
that's
them is
true.
they're like, just act like you do at home, and now he's starting to bark.
That's right.
I just
That is true.
I need Scott to show up at some point. Like, I want Braun to
Has
be a
to.
little too nice. And then Scott's
Yeah.
like, "Let me tell you about these chicks I bagged."
Well, why can't he? I mean, if the Steiners should go up against the Bloodline. Do that.
100%. I hope he'd come back. He hates Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. He's the only
does
one
he?
who was like upset they took over.
Of course he is. Yeah.
You'll never
Vince is a
believe
good
which
man.
one he had more harsh things to say about.
Which
The
one?
woman.
Really? That's
I
crazy.
think there's a quote that was like, this was for sure the theme of it. I don't know if these exact words, but I think it might have been was, "Triple H is a jerk. He never treated me right. And Stephanie's a whore."
See, this is the issue. Scott Steiner, like you just said, no character. He's himself. He thinks everybody else is being themselves too. So
He
Stephanie
doesn't
was
know.
being a whore. Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
100%.
know.
He gets mad at his brother because they didn't stay a tag team the whole time.
Right. He's still not over it. They could have been champions still.
Yeah, 100%. If you like talk like this in wrestling things, we've got a series on YouTube for you. Fantasy bookings now on YouTube. First one, Bray Wyatt, Wyatt 6. That happened last week. Debuted, big deal. If you want to know what they're going to do with it,
They shot
I
a guy
told you.
in the head. He's wrestling
I
tonight.
don't think they shot him in that. Everyone,
Look at it.
it looked like that. It looked like that.
He
I-
deserved it. He
I
was rude to
really-
Otis.
He was rude. By the way, did you see all the things that were like all the messaging that was definitely targeted towards Gable the whole time?
In the whole
In like
return
all the
thing?
messages and stuff. Like someone went back and like took
Oh, really?
frame shots, and there was like text all over the screen at different times, but the text was like, "You stop saying thank you, you're bullying your friends." Like all very clearly targeted at Chad.
Gable.
which
Otis needs to be in the Wyatt 6.
Yeah, the only thing I thought with it was, but I like it because they're going a theme route. So they wanted Otis to be nice. So all he did was push Chad last week.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Light him up.
I think he only did it one time, but he carried the girl and like another guy up the ramp at the same time.
He's done it a couple times now.
He is so strong.
He is so strong. I can't get over how stocky he is.
Yeah, no neck, just he's Mike Wazowski out there. He's insane.
He's got my favorite, like when he gets pumped, everyone else like shakes the ropes. It's just all shoulders. It's my favorite. Like he just leads into the ropes. He shakes, not the ropes. He can't lift his arms that high.
He is my favorite wrestler right now. He has to be. He's so good.
Here's to the Steiner reference. Here's where I think people are wrong. He can talk. Let him talk. I don't care if he makes 0 sense. His promos are my favorite because it's Scott Steiner, Macho Man.
Yeah, that's great. But what's wrong with that? That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, just a lot of it's very Hacksaw Jim Duggan. A lot of just grunts. But no, let him run wild. Yeah, so if you want to see how I'd book that, if you want to see how I'd book TNA versus NXT, which is happening.
Yep. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. It comes amidst TNA being like, maybe we're going bankrupt.
Of course.
Who knows? Yeah. Which is a bummer because they like their product hasn't diminished. They're just showing on Axis television.
What TNA should do, put me in charge if you want. They should partner with Micro Wrestling and have a combined show.
I don't know about that one.
They're great. 25
really?
cent will take. Micro Wrestling's awesome. It's incredible. You haven't watched it? You can't. No, what are you talking about? Go watch it. Too good for it?
No, you knew that was going to get me. Fuck you. Absolutely. You leaned in with I'm going to flip this on you. All right. Maybe I'll take a look at it. Mm-hmm. And then we have a third one coming up. Coming out soon. I will say slightly undercut maybe by things that happened this last week, but the heart is still there. So it's all the things that I said that happened could still happen. One of the people I said that would debut a couple months from now here, but Jacob Fatu, welcome. That's right. He'll just be in it earlier.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Also, watch that third one for the moment that I realized I had not yet given a preface on Brock Lesnar. You can see like the panic come over my eyes. It's like, by the way, the allegations are true. Scrap it. I'm like 10 minutes into his piece, and I'm like, I'm going to wind it back. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But any support you can give to those is awesome. If you are a wrestling fan and have suggestions, requests, why don't you comment those on the videos? That would be awesome. And we'll get some new ones out soon, as well as hopefully going to take advantage of our preseason Olympic season to get some other wrestling content out, as long as people are still liking it. The Wyatt 6 one did pretty good, so hopefully keep doing well, but push it if you can.
Definitely go subscribe. Our goal is still 14K before football season. We're on track, and that's all we can ask for, except for I'd like to be a little ahead. Let's get ahead of schedule. How about that?
That's right. 14K by football season, 15K by Royal Rumble.
Absolutely. And what's your thoughts on Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania? Is that all it is? All three of them being in Indy? What's the point of that?
Yeah. That's just a money thing. The city just bought them. I think
it's dumb.
Very dumb. I think the city just literally like gave them a bid of like, well, I'll bid everybody if you just let us.
That makes sense.
Market it.
But like, I don't understand from the city's point of view. It's like, so now I know all three are coming to Indy. Oh, I don't need to go to Royal Rumble. Then I'll go to the other one. Like, why would you do that?
The only thing I can think of is it's in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
So
there'll be
I don't know why WWE
but...
did it. That's honestly the part that I don't necessarily get, because I feel like anytime you have Punk around, I don't know why one of those shows isn't in Chicago.
True. They probably think it's close enough, but I agree.
Yeah, and two, I just feel like you're leaving money on the table by like giving it to one. You're telling me if you brought whatever indie pay to LA, they're not gonna like outdo it? I would think.
For at least one of them.
It's got to be a Pat
Like-
McAfee thing.
I mean, Triple H was on his show today. Said McAfee was instrumental in doing it. He also said McAfee wouldn't leave him alone about doing it. So that's probably also true.
Probably true. So I don't know. I could see WWE doing something of like you could perhaps it's like God, I don't know, a ticket package, but we're talking these shows are all separated by 3 months each.
It's weird. And if it's about money, I would assume any international market would pay more.
And by the way, they're all on a bidding war, which is hilarious. They keep doing these shows in like London and Berlin, and like they keep telling all these countries we'll be back, and then they just go to like one right next door that like upcharges them. So we'll see.
Except for
Cena
Saudi.
showed up at that one show and was like, "We're gonna do a WrestleMania in London," and that was Triple H was like, he did not have the authority to say that.
Yeah, no. That's a good babyface thing to do, though.
That's true. But no, so tell you what, here's the thing. You can set the 14K goal. I'll set the 15K one. If we hit 15K by WrestleMania, we'll do a stream.
We'll do that. Okay. We'll do streams before it too. But
That's true. What could the fun thing be during the stream? We'll do a stream where we watch the Rumble and then something else that you request within reason.
we can probably do a watch along, can't we?
We absolutely can. I don't think we can show the product on screen, but we
Fine.
can certainly do a watch along. Yeah, and that would be a lot of fun. So please support that. And we'll do it. This we can do. We will do if we hit 15K by Royal Rumble. Zach doesn't know what I'm about to say. We'll do it in Scott Steiner attire. We'll get the chainmail.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I think that's fun.
We'll get the sunglasses.
They
Zach can,
Amazon.
Zach can highlight the goatee.
I'll do it. On Amazon this week, they had Kurt Angle's attire on sale, and it was Olympics are coming up. It was kind of tempting. So,
by the way, that's
never
the
know.
song we should come out to for the Olympics.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's the most Olympic or most American song I've ever heard in my life.
It
Includes
is
the
so
national
good.
anthem.
And let them say you suck. That kind of.
By the
fits.
way, just getting into Olympic stuff right now, how much better is the Star Spangled Banner than any other national anthem?
I like the
So
France
much
one.
better. No. It just seems like a generic version of one of our better songs.
Yeah,
It's not good. Not great. It's
What
not in the
about
language I
Scotland
know.
one?
I don't know that one.
Scotland the Brave.
Not sure. Are they even a country
Scotland the
anymore?
Brave. Fair.
don't even
Not
compete.
a country. Not a country.
They don't
I
even
think.
compete.
Yeah.
Don't show up.
Does
Don't matter.
Scotland compete in the Olympics? Does England allow them to? They're part of the Commonwealth.
I don't know. I mean, Ireland does. So I don't know.
Yeah, but Ireland is its own country, just not Northern Ireland.
I don't like these little rules. Canada's not even their own country. They compete.
Scotland
England's
competes as
country.
part of the United Kingdom. That's tough.
That is tough.
It's like Texas.
Liberate yourself. Stand up for yourself.
We
Take
should
it to the king. Sorry, the queen's dead. Already took it to her.
Wow. Yeah, she took it all right. I tell you what, that's what we should do. U.S. every year, we should vote out a state that has to compete on their own.
That'd be great.
Ship up Rhode Island. Get in there.
We can ship Rhode Island out. There's a few I for sure want to keep. You know what? No. We'll compete it by ourselves. Wisconsin's got this. I feel good. I feel good about whatever we got.
Honestly, we've got Kenny Bednarik. What more do you need? We've got the 4x1 down.
Let it be the Winter Olympics. I feel better about winter.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, they would, by the way, they'd really miss us for some of those events.
Yes, they would. Yes, they would. And if we could team up with another one, just give Minnesota, Wisconsin. I feel we're good. And if we could bring in one more, might as well. I like Ohio. Ohio's good with us. They got some good athletes there. Us three versus the rest of the country.
That is, by the
it.
way, the Winter Olympics. I mean,
It is. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about it. Alaska's kind of represented, but Alaska could be on our side too. They don't even count for America.
if you gave us one more and we count Nebraska, we'd also win volleyball. That's all. We only need Nebraska for volleyball. Yeah, bring them in. The Big Ten. So Big Ten versus everyone.
We are kind of just forming the Big Ten, huh?
But you know what we won't say? We're going to form the Big Ten, and we're going to be like, it's not the Big Ten. No Rutgers.
You're right. Exactly. New Jersey's not in it.
It's the original Big Ten. And here's what we'll say. It's the Big Ten, but for this, I don't think we can do Pennsylvania.
Fine. Ever since the whole Joe Paterno thing, I haven't felt great about it.
Shows up. That feels weird.
I mean, I don't mind Pittsburgh. They're very Ohioan to me. I just don't want any. That's true. Yeah, we don't need them.
Penn State's weird house, you know?
They are weirdos. I don't want Penn State. If they go to what's another one? Dubuque? Is that in Pittsburgh? We'll take Dubuque.
Yeah, I do like Dubuque. No, that one's fine. But yeah, Indiana can be there. All the Indianans.
Indiana's getting a little too big for the britches. I'm not.
Now
they stink. I don't like Indiana. I've been seeing some things online. People from Indiana think they're the best state in the Midwest.
Wrong.
They're a bottom tier state. That's not. They suck.
Comfortably bottom 3.
Yeah, Iowa is Iowa. At least they know what they are.
That's their stuff.
Yeah, it's on their flag.
Iowa, but they know what they are. Is some tennis green shit. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean that's in there. Okay, we've had this conversation before, but what's the Midwest? Because I mean, if everyone shows up to family dinner, we all hate Missouri. It's like, why are you here?
We talked about this on the ranking show. We ranked all the Midwest states, so definitely go listen to that. But I think Missouri and Kansas are both Midwest.
Midwest, yeah.
They're not though. They're not at all.
They're not. They're just not. No way.
Historically, they're not. It was Midwest before we knew California was over there. So back when we started calling it Midwest, they were just the West. They weren't mid.
No. Kansas is confident. Great Plains. You're in there with the Dakotas and all the fucking 4 square states.
You may as well be Wyoming. Sorry to say.
But 4 quarters. That's what I meant.
Same thing.
By the way, I've always said this. Missouri doesn't want to be part of the Midwest.
No. They don't fit. They understand. They're self-aware, I think. I think they know they're not Midwest.
I think they know they're not Midwest because they'd really like to be the South.
Yes, correct. Yes, they vibes, values, everything. They're very much South. I've seen Ozark. That's Missouri. That's South.
I've seen The Help.
That's South. You're right.
That's South. We have mistreat too many folks to be the Midwest.
If you got any twang, you don't have the same accent as us, go away.
No,
not us.
They
not like us, Jake, right?
They not like us. That's right. By the way, I feel like
how are you so fucking late on that news that you were early, a day for Kendrick reviving it somehow? Somehow you were so late that it was relevant.
Because Kendrick was waiting for me.
I guess. I'm how is
Flurry Sports is celebrating it? I guess now it's time to get out there. And here's why. I'm not late. It's forever.
Fair enough.
Hate that dude till we die.
Drake is dead, dude.
He is dead. By the way, when I'll let it go? When the girls that Drake's into can run for president. It's going to be a while.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say run free. Either one.
Yeah, as soon as he lets him go. No, tell you what. It did make me feel good. This is some self-reflection. Sometimes I stay up at night and I'm like, I wonder who the people are when they think of me. They're like, I don't like that guy. No one's ever made a fucking. He performed the song 6 times. I've never had Russell Westbrook dance to my hatred.
Yeah, Dr. Dre introing it.
You know,
The whole crowd knowing every word in unison
DeMar
of
had
the
to
diss
hurt
track.
DeMar had to hurt him.
For sure. But sorry about it.
Honestly, that's so true. I was so late to it that I preempted it involving the sports world.
Yeah.
It's the biggest news in the NBA this week.
That's true. A lot of sports concert news. Did you see the Taylor Swift one?
Yeah, that they were in London.
That Travis was like on the screen. And I, for one, I don't want to see Travis Kelce when I go to a Taylor Swift concert. I don't care if they flash the camera at him for 10 seconds. I think it's ridiculous.
That's
Little
fair.
ironic, huh? Little irony?
Little irony.
Crazy.
It's good.
And people were like, oh, it's Travis. That's so cute. And then Taylor Swift's there. It's like, God damn it. Get her off my fucking screen.
Well, honestly, so true. Here's an even better example. Because Travis, I heard some people be like, oh, let's stop the love story. Blah, blah, blah. You're just cramming it down my throat. Da, 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 da. Show more Jason. Show more Jason. He's not doing, he's doing the same thing Taylor does at football games, participating. No, he's less enthusiastic.
I did see a video of him at one of her concerts, and he was like leaning up against the pole, half asleep, just not caring. So maybe that's why they're not showing him. He didn't seem overly interested. I saw another video of him carrying a beer with just his mouth and no hands. So I think he was there for the free beer probably, which is great. That's fine.
I saw he commented on something that people were like, it looked like he wasn't having a good time. And he's like, I don't think you understand. He shared a photo of like Kylie like losing her mind. Like he's like, it was not my night.
Yeah.
Like Kylie got to go to a Taylor Swift concert in London. Like, you know, just he's there to support. I was thinking about this today. Now let's maybe some NFL talk to end. All right.
Perfect.
A couple years ago, I feel like we were in full swing, not just us, but the public at large. It's booked, right? NFL's booked. We're heading. I feel like the Kelseys became so likable that we dropped that. But what a good, here's what's they gave us Kelce Bowl. And then because they didn't run it back, I think we were all like a little like, all right, you got us. Not rigged. But they set up Travis and Taylor.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was like, okay, so now they're even bigger than ever. She's on screen. Chiefs still in the Super Bowl. Oh no, poor Jason. Jason's had the run of his life. He retired on top. He got his own documentary. He went out like a sad boy. And by the way, where was he last offseason? Roaming through the crowds like a Sasquatch on the loose.
Yeah.
Shirtless in the stands. El Luchador. He was at WrestleMania.
He was at WrestleMania. And then he just took a TV job immediately.
100%. And by the way, you want to know where the story goes next? I think we get a Travis Taylor like retirement baby announcement. Something like that. I don't know anything, people. Who knows? Something like that for Travis and Taylor. Dude, NFL test ran it, and we have the perfect market. I don't know what's going to happen to Nick Sirianni, but the Eagles are going to need a new head coach in about week 8. And we just test drove the Jeff Saturday thing. And I think we get full on. You need a pump up guy. We bring Jason leaves the booth, comes on down. I think that's where we're heading. Jason's a coach, dude. I think he's getting back in it.
I'm all for that. That would be incredible. He's the perfect guy. I thought Jeff Saturday was the perfect guy. Jason Kelce was the perfect guy. We need more offensive linemen head coaches. Need it.
I knew you'd support that. Yeah, he's in there. That weirdo.
And he won't be JJ Redick. He's like, oh, I'm not a podcaster anymore. Kelce will be doing his podcast from the locker room. He will not quit it.
Yeah.
He's committed. That's even
Ready
better.
for this hot take? JJ Redick's a weirdo.
Yeah.
He is not fun at parties, right? That's the vibe I get. That guy cares about Scrabble. He's like counting the letters.
He's just a typical Duke douche. Like, he sucks. He's going to be a bad coach. Why isn't he doing this podcast with LeBron? Because he's worried about what LeBron's going to say? Or is it because he's not good enough to handle multiple jobs at one time? Because it's one of those two. Do something. You suck. Don't act like you're proud. Like, oh, I'm committed to this team. You're not going to do jack shit. And if you do, you're going to lose.
You got it from the podcast. That's how you got the job.
Yeah, exactly. We thought you were going to be a podcast coach. That's why you were cool with it. And Lakers need to stop saying he was the first choice. They offered money to somebody else publicly.
That is so good.
It's the same thing the Packers did with Joe Barry, hiring him as defensive coordinator. He was our first choice. After the other guy denied it? Like, what are you talking about?
You are our first and last choice.
Yeah, you say that to everybody.
Starting now, you're our first one.
Knock it off. We know. We read the news. We're not stupid.
100%.
Whatever.
Here's a comparison, okay? I've thought this for a long time, and it didn't formulate till he became coach. There was a moment where JJ Redick became head coach that I was like, why is Dan Orlovsky coaching an NBA team? Those guys in my head are the same fucking dude.
Yeah, same vibe. They're just bland, white, douchebag, preppy.
Yeah.
Nepotism.
Those guys would not like Below Deck, and that says enough for me.
I don't know if that's true.
I think they take it too serious.
Maybe.
Dan Orlovsky's like, I've been on one of those boats. Cool, Dan.
I mean,
shut
right.
up. I'm trying to
they would hate it, but not for the reason most people hate it. They would hate it because they're like the deck people are not tying the knots correctly. They're not doing, something like that.
I think they'd hate it because they wouldn't get the humor of the guests are supposed to be funny in the sense that they are so rich and out of touch.
True.
And they'd be like, seemed like a perfectly reasonable request to me.
Right.
They wanted crab for dessert. Why can't they have crab for dessert?
Yeah. What? This is a luxury yacht? What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? I know. But by the way, not like us. Trending again.
Trending once again. And who led the charge? It was you.
That's right.
It was
you remember. Yeah, Drake's
Incredible.
done, dude. Ever since he covered plain white tees, it's been over.
Yeah, weird move. That was an odd thing to do. But yeah, that was that. So okay, I want to go out on this. I'm going to ask you. I have my opinion clearly, and I'm going to include my opinion in the question. How about that? If we're recording this right before Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah.
If the Florida Panthers win, do they deserve their names on the trophy?
You think no because of all the losses in a row?
They already lost. They already choked. They're already considered one of the biggest choke artists of Stanley Cup final history.
Is that's what they're considered?
They blew a 3-game lead. That never happens. So now no one's ever going to think of them as champions. They're not winners.
All that matters is who wins the last. I disagree with that, and here's why. Are they going
to celebrate tonight if they win?
Yeah,
no,
really.
They're going home thank fucking God. That was they lost. They lost.
Celebrate. I don't know. That's certainly happened in other sports before. I just don't think it'll be remembered. No one remembers the team that lost 3 but then got their shit together.
They do. We're talking about McDavid breaking Wayne Gretzky's records. We're talking about him winning the MVP even if his team loses. We're talking about this team coming from behind, dismantling a Florida Panthers team that looked unbeatable and just embarrassing them.
Then better win the last game. If they, what
I
is
agree.
it? Yeah, they lost the first 3. Do they deserve the trophy?
Yeah. Their heart was still beating. The Florida Panthers didn't step on the throat afterwards.
But if they win tonight, they will have a pause by definition.
The Florida Panthers gave the Oilers an inch, and what did the Oilers take? They took a mile. And there's a lot of miles between both of those cities. And even traveling both of them, the momentum did not die. The Panthers collapsed. They lost. They lost again. They lost again. If the Panthers lose, if the Panthers win, nobody deserves their name on the trophy. If the Oilers win, congrats. Didn't think that could happen. Crazy.
I think, listen, they're playing hockey in Florida. Give them something, you know?
No. They deserve nothing. Why is there a championship team in Florida for
Honestly,
hockey? That's
okay,
weird.
I wasn't going to bring this up because I didn't know we were going to talk hockey. I'm going to let you in on a secret. I'm rooting for Florida, and here's why. I was so bummed that this series wasn't going to be close because coming into it, I was like, this is really going to fuck with Oilers fans. Like, I was like, you're going to lose to a Florida hockey team. You got so close. And now, Zach, we're here, baby. It was like 2 out of hand. Now they're going to be so close. And I hope they win. And you know what I hope happens? I hope the Florida coach goes, what's this? I hope he looks at the cup and goes, is this a trophy? Do we get this?
Yeah.
I want us to all pretend we just learned how to play hockey today. We're going to go. I hope they do a parade that nobody comes to.
It is messing with my mind because on one hand, it's so funny that essentially the shithole of America beats Canada at their thing. I love that.
Yeah.
Country pride. Do I need to go into the Olympics again? I love it. Love it. But I can't get behind a Florida Panther team or Florida hockey team. Like, it's weird. I don't like it. They lost. They're losers. No one should be considered a winner if they're a loser. And as that kid said, you're going to lose because you're losers.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? What always happens?
The kid had a crazed look in his eye. Started barking like Scott
He
Steiner.
was mean mugging me. I was a little, and I tried to logic him out of it. I was like, no, explain.
Nope,
Tell me why I shouldn't call CPS.
True. Can't do it though.
Child Protective Services, protect me from this child.
Yeah. They can't. They know what happens. What always happens.
They not like us.
They not like us. Anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, just, peace out from the big booty daddy.